Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruz Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. And we're on, and hopefully you're on into the year 2022. There are a whole bunch of twos there. Hopefully this year is going to be more pleasant than the last one. You know, it's interesting in 2021 how everybody was saying, wow, I can't wait till this year is over and it's going to be better next year. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, things are not in terms of how our society is operating that much better. But you know, there's an old adage that is a universal saying, and there's a lot of wisdom to a lot of old-time sayings, and one of them, yes, in time this too will pass. And we're going to get this dilemma over with, hopefully sooner than later, but we have to deal with life as it comes along and adjust to it. And we certainly have a lot to adjust to. Our program, Bright Side of Aging, has been on now probably for half a century. And I'm getting tired. But I enjoy doing this. First half hour we devote to bringing out the positive aspects of aging. Yes, and there are positive aspects of aging. As much as we complain about the virus and all, think about what we're able to do today with technology. We can be in touch with people all over the world. Granted, it's not the same as being in person next to one another, but we adjust to that. But one thing is for sure, that we should stay connected. And the wonderful thing about radio, and why I've hung in there, although I do a TV show as well, I find radio so much more efficient in connecting. You can connect with people in almost all state of their health. If you're a visually impaired person, that's a great way of hearing the human voice. Human voice can do a lot. And while we're on the air, if you have any thoughts on the bright side of aging or just aging in general, feel free to call in while we're on the air, 248-557-3300, 248-557-3300, while we're on the air for the next hour. At 11:30, we go into entrepreneurship, where we try to help you find a second career. If you are looking to recalculate, by all means, let's stay in touch. And while we're on the air, 248-557-3300. But I want to be in touch with you when I'm off the air, anytime. We have a toll-free number, 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980. If you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, if it comes to health issues or, in general life issues, by all means call. I enjoy meeting people by phone and in person too. Yes, I do some in-person meetings. In fact, today at 1 o'clock, I'll be over at the Caustic Center at 11 Mile and Middle Belt, and we have a new friends group where we just get together and talk about our personal situations and how we can help one another. And speaking of helping one another, one of the joys of my being able to do this radio show is that I have an opportunity to talk to interesting people and knowledgeable people and people that can help you in your daily life. And one of those people, a special person, who has got a great name that I am looking forward to spring. And as we know, Robin is always associated, the Robin, with spring. And guess what? One of the real coordinators of the health department and all in Oakland County is Robin Danto. And Robin Danto is one of these people that can explain complicated issues about our dieting and lifestyle in shirt-sleeve English. Is that true, Robin Danto?
I hope so. I try and make it so that people can understand.
Well, I know so. Maybe there's always room for hope. And for those folks that have not had the privilege of knowing your background and all, why don't you take about a minute and tell us who you are and what you do, Robin Danto?
Okay, thanks, Ike. My name is Robin Danto. I work for Oakland County through the MSU Extension Office and the Health Department. We're overseen by the Health Department. I have a master's degree in community health education and a bachelor's degree in human nutrition and dietetics. And I've done everything from being the dreaded health inspector and environmental sanitarian at Oakland County Health to the position I hold now, which is a health education position with the county. So I teach disease prevention and management, all kinds of diabetic control classes and prevention classes, falls management classes, nutrition, food safety. I work closely with the Michigan Farmers Market Association, trying to encourage people to eat healthy, eat local, stay healthy, And I also write the senior health line for Oakland County.
Do you sleep ever, Robin?
A couple hours a day.
Well,
I think I was up texting you this morning or emailing you, Ike, at about 6 o'clock, and that was after I had already taken the dog out for a long walk.
yes, right. Well, actually, I really enjoy your news line, and anybody that's if they would like to call us at 1-888-489-8980. I can put you on our contact list. But you're very knowledgeable in terms of really daily type needs. A lot of times we get calls if you take something out of the refrigerator, depending on what the food is, how long is it safe for you to possibly consume. So I know from your background and all that you actually handle one-on-one calls when you're not out there at farmer's market or something. Is that right?
That is correct. Originally, the position I have was answering the food safety hotline, and I just have morphed it into doing more nutrition education and disease prevention within the community. So, yes, I take lots and lots of calls on food safety.
Mm-hmm. Now, if someone wants to call you directly, would you mind giving out your direct phone line?
Sure. That number would be area code 248-215-6307.
Okay, and for slow writers like me, would you repeat?
Sure. Area code 248-215-6307.
Very good. Well, I thought today, especially now with the holiday season right around the corner, although we certainly didn't have big splash parties, people probably, and I'm not the statistician, made a resolution that they wanted to live a healthier lifestyle. So I wondered if you take some time and talk about the good fats and bad fats, if there is such a thing. Is there good fats?
Sure. Sure, absolutely. We all want to, it's the new year and we want to be healthier. We don't want to necessarily diet, but we want to make some improvements. We want to make small changes in our diet to make things better. We know from past experience that if we try and do too big of a change, it's usually not successful. So if we can make small steps to better health, we're better off, and we will be more successful. We're then setting ourselves up for success. So for years, when it came to diets, fats had been the bad guys, and we were told, cut out the fats, but not all fats are created equally. And we do need fat in our diet. It's the types of fats and the amounts that are a concern to our health. There's certain fats that have been linked to health problems like heart disease, stroke, diabetes, obesity, and cancer. But there are other fats that offer us health benefits. And that includes making it possible to absorb nutrients. A lot of times we're told, especially nowadays, doctors will say, oh, you're vitamin D deficient. You've got to take vitamin D supplements. Well, vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, and if you don't take it with some source of fat, it's not going to be absorbed. So you want to be sure that if you're taking a fat-soluble vitamin, A, D, E, K, that it's taken with some source of fat. That can even be some low-fat milk, something small or some nuts. But if you want absorption, you've got to take it with some source of fat. Some of the healthier fats help to reduce inflammation, and we know that inflammation is really the cause of a lot of bad health problems. Our muscles need fat to move, so it's not like we should cut all fats out of our diet. And fat's also important in offering cushion for our organs to protect us from injury. But the one thing we also have to keep in mind is that fat has more than twice as many calories per gram as does protein or carbohydrates. So we have to be careful in our serving sizes with fat. Go ahead. It sounds like you have a question.
Yes, I was just going to ask, is it possible for people to call you? I realize you're a busy individual, and share with you what type of fats they have now and what alternatives that is available to them that's is going to give them sort of the same taste, if that's doable.
Sure. You know, I welcome all the calls at that number that I gave you earlier. Mm-hmm. I will help you with any problems, any questions you have regarding health, nutrition, even food assistance at this time with all of the things going on in our world. A lot of people are having trouble securing enough food, and I have all kinds of resources. And if I can't answer your question for some reason, I will do what I can to get answers for you. But yeah, you can call. I'll help you with different kinds of fats, the difference between saturated fat and unsaturated fat, and also trans fats. So trans fats are really the bad guys here, and we want to keep those out of our diet completely. But I will answer any questions I can.
And that phone number is 248-215-6307. That's 248-215-6307. And with your newsline, do you have one that actually addresses fats? Or maybe go ahead.
I do. I have one as recent as May of 2021 that I had updated. It's called Good Fats, Bad Fats. And I'd be happy to send that out to anybody that's looking for information on fats. Or if you just want to call me and talk about fats.
Well, listen, what's that line? Fat is where it's at, or something like that. Anyway, and you have to have you have to pick the right ones, and this is free. It's part of the Oakland County Health Department and all, and I know because of all your activities that you welcome the opportunity to speak to the different organizations. And one of the positive things about this whole dilemma we have with the virus is that there's now very fashionable to have Zoom meetings. So anyone wants to have you as a speaker, I assume that's doable. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I'm like you. I'm a people person, and I like going out and speaking with people. And even though technology isn't my forte, I have kids that will help me. But I'm happy to hop on a Zoom meeting that somebody else has had set up. And
wow, what a deal! Brand new year, and nothing is more important in terms of taking care of yourself as having a proper diet. And of course, what's that usual tagline? Portion size and exercise is also vital. And with the new food guidelines that came out, they just came out actually about a year late. We update those every 5 years. The new tagline for that is every bite counts. So we want to make every bite that we take count and be a good bite. Right. Well, I like to use little quips and what have you. One of my favorites, which ties in one bite at a time, is How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So we'll have to check how much fat content is if you do decide to do that. But we can do that.
Yep, and I will.
We can do that at an upcoming visit. Robin Danto, it's been a delight to have you on. And you're so good that we're going to have you on again, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, Ike, and happy, healthy New Year to everybody.
Hallelujah. All right. Right now we're going to take a brief break, but we'll be right back. So please don't go away. Family run for over 88 years, Friends Hardware has remained family-owned and operated. Friends Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Friends Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Friends Hardware.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome back. And I always want, as they say, to give a shout out, but I like to remind you that this show is actually, as they call it a pay-to-play station. In other words, we pay for the airtime, and we hope that our listeners, if they enjoy the program, will support us by going to our sponsors. Sponsors will only stay sponsors if they're getting results from our promoting them. And I want to remind you that Ari Bakery, for example, is fantastic in terms of treats that have Michigan grown. That's right on Farmington Road in Livonia, right around the corner almost, is Joy View Market. If you have a Polish background or you like Polish food, like kielbasa and tishka, it's fantastic. It's just a wonderful experience just to walk in, and they're always busy, and they're right on Joy Road, west of Telegraph. And I just enjoy the whole atmosphere. You know, there are certain stores that no matter what the economy is, do well. And despite all of the businesses that are closing up that you hear about, Joyview Market is right at the top of their game. And likewise, if you have any difficulty in seeing, Able Zone has got all kinds of gadgets and devices. I hate to say gadgets as such, because these are useful ways for you to be able to see what's around you. And Catherine, with her husband, they're right on Rochester Road in Troy. They've got a phenomenal array of products right on display. Would you believe they've got a wow computer that I have in my own home? It is ideal for seniors. if you get emails, it actually talks to you and tells you what it is. And also, of course, with the Friends Hardware store that was just mentioned, old-time type service. You walk in, and they actually walk you over to the product. And I'm klutz when it comes to describing some of the things I may need, and I try to, with hand signals and verbalizing, tell them what I need, and guess what? One of the people behind the counter will walk you over, show it to you, very reasonably priced, and it's a family-run business right in Michigan. We have to take a concerted effort to help our fellow citizens, not only in Michigan but in the United States. Greatest country in the whole world. And I am a strong believer in that because, as many of you may know, I went through concentration camp. And you have no idea when you have that kind of a background, that when you have this glorious land that we have here, that despite all of these political wrangles, that we should take pride in being an American citizen. It's interesting, just as recently as yesterday, I believe it was, they had that real horrible situation, I believe it was in Virginia, where the trucks went out the road and what have you. People were stuck in their cars for over 30 hours. Can you imagine? Over 30 hours to be without food or anything? Guess what? There was a bakery truck in that dilemma, and one of the people called the truck driver as to whether he was able to offer any of the baked goods they had. Guess what? Within 15 minutes, that truck driver went out to all the cars and gave them bread and donuts or whatever he had. And I cannot get more emotional than knowing that here you are in the heights of a dilemma, and obviously he wanted to be in his truck to avoid the bad weather out there, but he helped one another. That's what America is all about, and that's what I want you to look at the new year. Let's help one another. I'm available 24 hours a day. Just call 888-489-8980. I get joy out of making someone else's life a little bit easier. Right now, I got to wrap it up, and I like to end it with my favorite saying, which is, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life at the bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others, because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other and achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, EntrepreneursNetworkofMichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. For over 30 years, Cruz Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruz Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Here they've got other stuff. If you'd like a free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruise Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. Family run for over 88 years, Friends Hardware has remained family owned and operated. Friends Hardware is one of a kind. You'll find the newest products offered on TV at very competitive prices. You'll also find safety products, grab bars for bathrooms, battery-operated light switches, remote control devices that you can turn your lamps on or any electrical device. You don't have to run out there anymore. Just press the button. Better yet, just visit Friends Hardware, located on Main Street and 11.5 Mile Road. They're open every day. If you wish to call, it's 248-544-8111. That's 248-544-8111. Better yet, just visit 11.5 Mile Road and Main Street, Friends Hardware. And welcome. And hopefully you have recalculated, so to speak. It's my favorite word, by the way. I'm not sure if OnStar still has that woman's voice come on. My current car does not have it, but it was such a pleasure that whenever you were given directions on OnStar, that this woman's voice would come on if you were going off track and say, recalculating. Well, guess what? 2022 is certainly a year to recalculate. And many times, as the old saying goes, people fall into that trap that they expect new things happening just because it's January 1, 2022. The calendar goes on and on and on, and hopefully it'll go on for a long time for you as well. But you should recalculate as to what your current career path is directing you to. As you've heard on the news, many people don't want to go back to what they were doing before. They're recalculating their life and wondering, how do I get into business on my own? Then suddenly reality sets in. Wait a minute, although I like such and such a business, I don't feel confident enough to go at it, but I do like to stay in that particular field. Well, like all situations in life, necessity is the mother of invention. In my opinion, when it comes to a situation where you've got a certain amount of reserve saved up and you want to go into business, rather than going in on your own, the concept of franchising has actually proven its value. How do you say that, or why do you say that, Ike? Well, I'll tell you why. If it wasn't a good concept, why would it be around for so long? There's obviously merit to it. And one of the joys I have in doing this show is our Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, and that now is meeting on Zoom every other Tuesday. If you're interested in teaming up with us, I still like to use the phone. It's 888-489-8980. If you want to participate in our meetings or be a speaker, call us at 1-888-489-8980, and we can put you in touch with, now having been doing the meetings schedule for close to 50, yes, half a century. We have over 20,000 contacts all around the world, literally, because we've been around for that long. And when it comes to deciding on what business strategies, we can meet with you one-on-one and give you your options as to how best you can proceed. But franchising is a great way for many people. I'll tell you up front, it's not for everybody. There are certain requirements that you have to have. And what's most important is that you should have someone that's a professional that can give you advice as to whether franchising is for you. And one of the most personable and knowledgeable people in that field I like to regard as a great friend, and I hope you feel the same way, Mark Cory. Is that correct, Mr.
Certainly.
Mark?
You hit the nail on the head.
I'll tell you.
You always do, Ike.
Well, I really appreciate your getting on, because I know although people are locked down many places, you are with FranNet, and you've got seminars, Zoom meetings almost all the time, so you stay busy, and that's the wonderful thing about technology, that you indeed can be in touch with all the people all over the world. But you're based in Michigan, so you're a Michigan boy, which I admire. And I just wondered, Mark, because you know, in our meetings, the first thing we usually try to do after you give your name is you are given the opportunity to do a 60-second elevator pitch. So, Mark Cory, what is your 60-second elevator pitch?
Simply put, I help people find the right franchise. I work with over 250 pre-screened franchise companies in a variety of industries and investment levels, and through a proprietary entrepreneur profile tool that our company has developed, and a face-to-face consultation, which we do through Zoom now. I work with my clients to craft the model of their ideal business. I make recommendations on a handful of companies that best comport with the model, and I get them started on the research process. I introduce them to the franchisor representatives, and I coach them through the research to help them ask the right questions of the right people and uncover the facts to make a wise decision. If they ultimately decide to invest in one of those franchises, I'm compensated by the franchisor, so there's no cost to the people that are looking. It's a free consulting service.
You know, they say most successful businesses have got a simple formula. If you complicate it, it is a terrible way to go. So basically, if you don't mind my input on it, is you do not really represent any one individual franchisor, so it's not like in the insurance business where you got to be careful if the insurance agent that's trying to sell you a policy will direct you to that one company that it gets paid for. As far as your situation is, you have over 250 choices, and it does not matter which one the person picks, you get compensated by them, and the person doing the shopping around, so to speak, does not have to pay you anything. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. Well put.
Yeah, well, you know, it's such a simple idea. I wish I thought of it. But it's too late. But that doesn't mean that I can't take advantage of the fact to help promote what you do, because it fits in with our Entrepreneurs Network. Our motto is we help ourselves and by helping others first. And it sounds maybe hokey-pokey, but one of my mentors was Zig Ziglar, and I had the joy of actually meeting with him, and his motto was, if you help someone achieve their goals, they more than in turn will help you achieve yours. So, Mark Cory, give us, number one, of course, how is the best way to get a hold of you?
By phone, 313-821-5060, or by email, mcory, M-C-O-R-Y, at Frannet, FRANNET.com, and Cory at Frannet.com.
So the phone number again is 313, go ahead.
821-5060.
Now someone calls you, Mark. Can you share how the conversation goes as far as the screening process?
My first question would be, what's got you interested in a business of your own at this time? To see if there is a compelling reason for someone to even spend the time researching franchises, let alone starting one, because there really has to be that compelling reason in order to make it happen or to justify making it happen. So we'll spend a little time talking about where they're at in their career and why they're thinking about making a change and how important it is to them to make a change and some of the particulars they're looking for. And then if it sounds like it makes sense for them to start the exploration process, I'll invite them to complete our entrepreneur profile online. Then we'll review the results together and mutually determine if it makes sense to schedule that 2-hour consultation online and get the process started of seriously investigating some franchise options that could be a great fit for them.
So actually, all this can be done without actually physically being in the same room. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep.
That's interesting how life goes. It used to be that the first thing you were taught, if you take any business courses, is the importance of obviously dressing properly and making a first great impression, because that can never take me back. But now it's become very fashionable that with FaceTime and Zoom meetings, you don't have to do all of that. Assuming that you got clean pajamas, you can even sit in your pajamas and be screened. Make sure they're clean.
I wouldn't appear on camera in pajamas, so don't worry about that. But you're absolutely right. For the first 18 years that I did this, Ike, that was a hallmark of my business model, is doing that first consultation face-to-face in my office in Grosse Pointe. There were some exceptions to that because I occasionally work with people out of state. I can place people wherever they want to go. Those meetings I felt were critical. And I certainly enjoyed those, and I think the clients did as well. However, in March of 22, things changed drastically. And the online consultations, to tell you the truth, have been working out just fine. And I have been able to meet with people that, were out of state, or maybe they were on vacation or visiting family on the other side of the country, but we could still do that consultation and get them started on the process.
Right. Well, there's that other thought, and that is when it comes to big decisions, if you're living with someone, a significant other, you can be right in your own comfort of your own home, and both of you can hear what your options are. And I just wondered, in terms of the practicality, if someone wants to consider a franchise, what financial resources should they have?
Should have a minimum of $50,000 in liquid capital. The more the better, obviously, because they'll have more options. But 50 is about a bare minimum. And then the ability to either borrow additional funds over and above that, or maybe utilize a 401k or a that they can roll over into a new plan to help capitalize their business. And that's what a lot of my clients do. That can be done on a penalty-free and tax-free basis if it's done just right.
Well, this may be too open-ended a question, but I'll ask it anyway. And that is, I think I forgot the exact number today, but it used to be if you start your own business, your chances of success are nowhere as near as with a franchise. Would you happen to know percentage-wise what the current thinking is if you're opening up a business, if you buy a franchise versus starting from scratch on your own, as to your success rate?
I hesitate to quote any statistics because I often wonder about the source of the information and the particular ways the survey might have been worded and so forth. But I've long heard statistics about franchising providing a higher likelihood of success than independent businesses. You could probably find horror stories out on the internet about 4 out of 5 startups being gone within 5 years. That might be true of independent businesses. Mm-hmm. Our company did a survey of our own clients, people we knew personally, back during the Great Recession, people that were starting businesses then, and found that it was about the opposite. After 5 years, 85%, I believe it was, were still in business after 5 years. Well, and I throw that out because that's a number that I know the source of. That was our own independent survey of clients that we placed in business.
Mm-hmm. This may be a softball question, but I think that softball questions many times have got a lot of good information. So if someone's considering a franchise, is it important that they go into a field that they've had experience in, or the way the franchise formula works, since you're being trained, can you go in as a novice, not having been in that business?
Prior industry experience is fairly inconsequential when it comes to franchising. Rarely is it required. Sometimes it's even frowned upon because the franchisor wants to make sure that you're going to be willing to learn and follow their system, not your preconceived notion of what the system should be. So the vast majority of clients that I've placed over the past 20 years have chosen franchises that were totally unrelated to their previous corporate experience. Now, that's not to say that it didn't leverage certain transferable skills that they gained in corporate America. That's really what we look at. What are those skills that can be employed in a completely different business or industry? Rarely is prior industry experience of any consequence.
Right. And I just wondered, in terms of the financial part of it, is it practical for two people to get together, assuming they're compatible, that they go in together on the franchise, or do you find that creates a possible problem? Because it's one thing to talk about a business with a good friend that you feel you make great partners, and it turns out that you're not. So my question is it practical for a partnership type franchise purchase?
It can be. Yeah. I've seen it happen. I've placed a few partnerships myself over the years. Not a lot. But it can work if all the stars are aligned. The likelihood of that happening is pretty slim because it's a big decision, and when you get two people involved, two partners, and say each of those partners has spouses that have opinions as well, it's not likely they will come to the same decision at exactly the same time and be ready to move forward. But it can and has worked in rare instances.
And people calling you, I just wondered as to whether you get into the situation where someone is biting at the bit to go into a particular franchise, and you meet with them, and you do an evaluation, and you tell them, you're a nice person, but I don't think this is for you. Does that happen?
It sure does. Yeah, once in a while that happens, and I'll be the first to tell them if I don't think it's a good idea for them to become a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll explain why. And a lot of times that's financial.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other reasons that could come into play as well. They just maybe don't seem to have the motivation. They're just kind of toying with the idea of being a business owner. And, when I kind of lay it on thick about what it really takes to get something up and running successfully, a lot of times they'll back off, and that's good. Better to find out early on than later.
Right. Well, if anyone is interested, I know you for your honesty and your knowledge, and I really wouldn't have you on the air if I didn't think the world of you, because I know you speak as an experienced guy. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you own the franchise yourself. Is that correct? Or FranNet?
Yes, FranNet is a franchise. Yeah, I have the franchise rights for the state of Michigan, and I have 2 associates that work with me doing the same type of work that I do here in the state.
Oh, that old line is that if it's so good, why aren't you doing it? You, Mark Cory, are doing it. God bless you. And if anyone's interested, why don't you give your contact information out again?
Okay, my phone is 313-821-5060, 313-821-5060. And my email address is mcory, @FranNet, FRANNET.com. Cory at FranNet.com.
Right, and you're always welcome to call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980, and I can keep you posted, because I know you, Mark, do seminars on an ongoing basis, and they're Zoom meetings, isn't that right?
We do them through GoToWebinar.
Webinar.
So we don't have people on camera. Yes, so the next one is coming up a week from tomorrow.
All right. Well,
Thursday, January 13th at 10 a.m., and that's free of charge.
All right. Can't beat that price. Okay. Well, Mark, it's been a delight, and happy, healthy, prosperous New Year. All right?
Same to you. Thank you, Ike.
All right. We'll talk again soon. Right now, we got to take a brief break, and we'll be right back. Please don't go away. All right.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
For over 30 years, Cruise Hearing and Service has helped thousands of people improve their hearing and enjoy the sounds of their life again. If you don't hear as well as you like, Cruise Hearing can help you. They have actually hearing aids that the batteries do not need to be recharged. And they also have a caption phone that you can view for free. And also the phone, if you are over 65, is available to you free. So any phone calls you get, you can see captioned if you don't hear that well. Hey, they've got other stuff. If you'd like the free cookbook, call 1-888-489-8980. That's available. You can call Cruise Hearing Direct at 877-456-2789. The number direct is 877-456-2789. And just a reminder, you heard Mark Cory is doing a seminar, webinar on the 13th. That's a week from this coming Thursday, or a week from tomorrow, simply put. And our Entrepreneurs Network meeting, Zoom meeting, meets the 11th. We try to make the meetings the same day of the week, second Tuesday of each month. And what a great way to start the year 2022. If you are not able to meet Tuesday 12 to 1, one of our ambassadors, Dr. Kevin Pappert, conducts a entrepreneur network meetings on the Saturdays. This coming Saturday, you'll be over at the Little Daddy's restaurant. Starts at 10:30. It's free to attend. Our meetings are free, and we can help you live the American dream, literally, and not only make it a dream, but a profitable business venture. I want to highlight our Entrepreneurs Toolkit. It's 24 lectures, paperback book. Runs you right $69. If you can't afford $69 to get into business, I don't think you should consider getting into business. The Entrepreneurs Toolkit is an extensive program where we cover everything from A to Z, so to speak, on business in terms of what business structure you should have. Has worksheets that you can, at your pace, on your own, decide whether business indeed is for you. The lectures, to give you a taste of it, number one is how to come up with a great business idea, understanding your market, making your idea become a reality, defining your business model. That's just a teaser, so to speak. If you're interested, call us at 888-489-8980. As part of our mission is that we offer ongoing mentoring. In most cases, there's no charge. Every once in a while, if it's extensive, we do have to charge something. But it's free. Just call us, 888-489-8980. I just have enough time for my favorite parting thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.